What's up, everyone? I hope you guys are having a great day. In this video, I want to go over the power of AskEdgar and why I think everyone involved in small caps should be using it. Now, before we continue, I wanted to let you know that there's a 7-day free offer to AskEdgar. It will be in the description down below. And through Save on Trading, you could actually pick it up for $44.25 per month, as opposed to the typical price of $59. So that will all be in the description down below, and you could kind of sign up while you're listening to this video. So how I use AskEdgar is very simple. I focus on two systems within the market. I focus on higher time frame mean reversal setups. That's often on higher market cap stocks where AskEdgar doesn't really come into play. But I also focus a lot on overnight momentum. So this is stocks that are closing well on elevated R-vol. Often they're small caps where there's some sort of news on the day. Maybe they're closing on 100 million shares in volume, and they're closing in the top 20% of the move. Those are candidates of possible follow through in after hours and overnight. And in fact, I use trade ideas to kind of dictate what I'm looking at into the close. And right now we don't really have anything. It's obviously a couple hours before the close, Pacific Standard Time I am on, but we can see that Hertz simply popped up. So before I'm taking Hertz overnight, I'm always going to AskEdgar, and I'm looking at the dilution risk. Is there a lot of dilution risk for Hertz? Is the offering ability high? In this case, it's very low. And you could read more about it. There's no active S1s, 1A, or shelves. With a capacity over 1 million, there is dilution risk that's high, but I'm more concerned with overnight risk when it comes to offerings. So in this case, if Hertz closes well and I see the risk to reward that makes sense to me, and I think it's going to follow through, well, I'm no longer worried about the offering risk. Now you could go to SEC.gov and kind of dig through all the SEC filings yourself, but you might as well leave it up to a pro, pay $44 a month, and have confidence that AskEdgar is going to kind of show you exactly what it is you need to see to hopefully lower the risk of you getting stuck in an offering. Likewise, if you focus on the short side on small caps, I know a lot of people do, it's a good idea to know exactly what you're getting involved in. If you're looking to short a stock and the offering ability is super low and the dilution risk is low, maybe it's up 300 or 400%. But maybe there's some news that really makes sense. You might want to be a lot more careful with that stock because there's not a lot of dilution risk. The offering ability is rather low, so that's something to keep an eye on. Likewise, I know a few people this year who saw a few good overnights that closed well. They took them out long, and they weren't aware that these stocks were actually getting delisted overnight. So you could look at the NASDAQ compliance, see that that's low. There's no risk of them, getting delisted. Another thing that I do with all the stocks that I take overnight is I, of course, want to know the news. You can go to other websites to keep an eye on the news, but AskEdgar actually kind of summarizes it with their AI that they have built in, and I just find it really convenient. So you can see the news right here. You can see a summary of the news. This is often what I'm reading. And then often I'll click in to kind of read the headline itself or the actual PR itself. My computer is running a little bit slow because of this screen recorder. But you can see, very easy to pull up. So those are a couple things that I do with AskEdgar. I'm often looking at the dilution risk and the offering ability. And if those are incredibly high, guess what? I'm not taking that stock overnight. It's just not worth it. Unless the volume is maybe, 1 billion shares or so on the day. Also, a really nice thing is this filing section. You can see it's separated with prospectus, news, finances right here, ownership, proxies, but I actually prefer this order because it kind of gives me a good idea of what's been filed as of late. So I tend to click over here. So yeah, I think AskEdgar is totally worth it. There's another resource out there that a lot of people use. I believe it's double the price. I find a lot more value in AskEdgar. I think their data is a little bit better. I use it mostly to keep an eye on what the actual offering risk is and the dilution risk. And, for the most part, I do take what they're saying for face value, as opposed to me going through the SEC filings and seeing how things look. This is what they do for a living. This is their website. So, this is their core focus. So it really helps narrow the time it takes for me to kind of dig around, see what the offering risk is, see what the dilution risk is, see what the news is, and then kind of go from there. So all of a sudden, my overnight momentum playbook, I don't need to be preparing, an hour or 2 or 3 hours before the close for possible overnights. I could kind of show up the last 20 minutes of the day, see what populates on my trade idea scans for possible overnights, and then go to AskEdgar, type in every single stock, see what the offering risk is. Is it high? Is the dilution risk high? Okay, I don't want to take that name for sure. I can move on to the next best possible name. If that offering risk is low, the dilution risk is low, and the risk to reward really makes sense, the story makes sense, the volume is there, it's closing in the top 20% of the move, there's a good possibility that I'm going to take that overnight. So this is how I use AskEdgar. It's totally worth the money. It comes with a 7-day free offer in the link down below, and a very good discount of 25% off, the best possible discount that you could find out there. As always, save on trading. That's what we do. We focus on getting you the best prices on top trading tools and services. These are deals that we have worked out exclusively with these companies for the most part. AskEdgar is one of them. They also, one thing I forgot to note, and there's a lot of value there, is their Discord is incredible, and that's what you get when you sign up. You get the pro gap scan, you get access to their team. Often if there's something that I don't fully understand within the filings, I'm simply DMing one of them or simply asking within the group. They're always willing to help. You can see these sections are very valuable. So the Discord also comes with it. The Discord is worth the $44 alone, but of course you get the service as well. So I hope I pushed you a little bit to give it a shot for at least 7 days and see if there's anything there for you. Make sure to use our link and our discount code in the description down below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and I'm happy to assist. Take it easy, everyone.